Hey, Richard again. So it has been a while where I have not been discussing with you, chatting with you, sharing the updates, what I have been doing so far. It has been chaotic since I posted here on this platform. So getting a time to post content like this, getting a time to do something meaningful, sharing my skills to the community was really hard for me in past months. But I'm back and I want to now start engaging with you, my journey of tech and technology in general, and be able to share with you the journey from which. So I get a time in a weekend, to be specific, at the end of the month. It's just one weekend I'll be taking to create a content for this community and be able to share the journey. So in a weekend, I mostly contribute to the open source softwares. Uh, it's one way for me to stay engaged in the developer ecosystem and be able to create uh, something. So I am a creator. I like to create something. I like to take something out of nothing and be able to create it. So part of me is that I need to still have that child mindset of curiosity and be able to think about out of the box and think about what if. So I approach every problem of programming or any problem in general as what if. So I remember the time when I was in Yari, I was doing the program and I was studying the entrepreneurship and leadership, and I was sitting in a group where they were teaching us how to brainstorm the ideas. And I think the most important lesson I learned from the program is to be curious and also to not be negative and always ask ourselves, what if? So imagine you're going to start a project and you assemble a team of maybe 10 people, and you want the team to help you think and brainstorm about the ideas on how to tackle and approach the market. But the first challenge is that everyone is on negative side. Everyone is on a side of competition rather than being the team player of creating a solution together. So let's say you say like, I think we can go to the market by maybe going to the TV, and the second person um, says that, oh no, that's not possible. We don't even have a money to go to the market. We don't have the budget. We don't. A lot of problems, and that's how many teams and that's how many programs, many company, many startups are structured actually to, and that path lead to failure because initially the idea is not to be perfect, or the idea is not to just do something out of the box. The idea is to be able to support your team member and say like, okay, what if saying that we should go to the TV to approach the market. Maybe that's not a good way, but you are not going to say it directly. You're going to say, okay, what if we go to radio? So you said your initial suggestion was we should go to the TV to launch our product. Okay, now the best team player should be like, what if we go to radio because XYZ? So I think this is something really teams lack and don't have the ability to brainstorm as a team and build on top of each other instead of building separately and have some chaos things. So in across the teams away from which I participated in, I see those issues keep popping up and keep showing up, and you will see the productivity of teams is half of what they could achieve, or even less. So, and I said, "Why? How can I help?" Because I'm a software engineer, so my initial career is not just in how do I call it, in people management or something like that. But I think I really understand how a productivity can be improved in a teams. All right. So by just simply solving the issue of communication, and by also simply teaching people how to work as a team rather than being working as like we are competing each other. But when you see the culture, you think about culture wise, you will see that people think that competition is one way of working as a clever person, right? So if you want to show that you're very clever, the best way you do as an African is to compete your fellow colleague or fellow friend, and that's just something that is, uh, I think, purely embedded in the DNA. So you're ready to compete. You're ready to compete against always. So should that be the way the teams should work? So competition is one way of working, but not with your team members. Competition can make you aware with like what your competitor is doing out there, and be able to learn from him, and be able to learn from his perspectives, and be able to compete positively, saying that okay, this competition has created X and has done a better job doing this XYZ. But how can we build a better solution compared to our competition? So how can we maybe in next 1, 2 to 3 years be able to take this competition out of the equation so that we stay in the market as a market leader, something like that. So that's something you would think about. But now, when it comes to a team, so remember, you have the same vision, same goals, same everything. So now there's no point of competing. So the idea is to be able. I forgot the right saying in that school where they said like um, the the product of 1 plus 1 is 5 when you are in a team. So initially, it's very hard to understand how 1 plus 1 is equal to 5 when you are in a team, because we think in singularity. We think like as our own individual. What can I do? What can I do myself so that I can be recognized, as an individual, which is really a natural instinct, because like you want to shine out, you want to be looked out as a genius who created this marketing campaign. You want to be looked out as someone who can, you know carry the company on his own, and you want to be the hero at the end of the day. Secretly you sitting in the room and saying, oh, I will say this idea after everyone has spoke, and I will just wait quietly, and I will say one killer idea that will kill every idea in the room. So you will see that's how everyone is thinking about. Then it might happen that the meeting end and you didn't have a chance to speak that killer idea you were aspired to talk about. But what if you were engaging in a conversation, trying to figure out the, the solution to the problem? So that's one number one things that I wanted to talk about. Second thing is, now you realized that now you have developed to compete each other. Now you want to work as a team, support each other. And another issue is when you have a management where you are not able to share ideas, discuss about it, and pick a combination of of, of ideas that can assemble all those ideas into one thing that is going to work in next 2 to 3 weeks. So you will see most often that one idea is the winner, which is the wrong perspective because you assembled 5 people in the room. They have shared the ideas of how they can approach a problem. But when you about to execution, you just chose one idea from a team member. So what are you telling your teammates is that this teammate is really great, his idea is brilliant, is therefore the idea we're going to pick is the idea that is going to, all of your ideas are not really important this time. That is what you subconsciously instilling in the mind of those remaining team members. So the best approach is to always combine the ideas. Okay, Mr. X said we can do this, Mr. B said we can do that, but how can we take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, maybe a little more of that, because maybe that's really maybe a brilliant idea, but without leaving any based part of idea outside of the box. So in that way, everyone will be heard, everyone will be listened to, and everyone will be engaged in the meeting. The next meeting, you will realize that everyone will be smiling because they know that they have contributed to the progress and that they have done something. And everyone will be happy creating something out of the box because you read them share, learn, improve the ideas. So I think that's something I'll be discussing more on this channel moving forward. Actually, things related to product development, business development, and how to turn your technical team into a successful team that execute, that works together, and in a very efficient manner. Actually, so yeah, I think that's something I really want to help, and I don't know if there is enough community out there to be able to share these ideas and think about what they think about. And I think it's just going to be an exciting journey moving forward on this channel. I get time only in 1 week of the month. That's Muganda in our local language. So that's when I'll be having the time to be able to share the insight and the tips and tricks of a product and team building. I think a product and team building is the same things. You cannot have one and leave other. So so that's basically what I'm thinking. So and I'll be talking a lot of things. I'll be talking about AI. I'll be talking about how can you survive in this AI era? How can you learn? So I think there is a lot of challenges actually for students. Like how can you be a good software engineer when you can no longer be able to think, right? It's a serious problem because you go to the chat GPT or Claude or Google Studio or whatever AI tools you might be using. It's now no longer necessary to learn something from the core and be able to understand it initially and have these basic skills. And it's just going to be a challenge because now everyone will call him or herself like a pro. Like you will wake up in the morning and think, oh, I know how to do these things. But really, what you know is how to chat GPT it You don't know anything. You don't know any basic things. Someone will be asking you 3 times 5. How, like, you be going to ask ChatGPT to tell you what is 3 times 5? So now, can you call it like you know something? I think uh that's really hard to know. But he is how I think about it. If you have these initial fundamental skills, and I think Elon Musk called it simple roles, like how the simple things should work. You know, like every time you wake up, you know, when you're on the bed, you need to put one foot in front of another just to wake up. That's just natural instinct of what you need to do. So now, what I'm saying is not just now. I think it's no longer necessary to know all the skills actually. Like going to cram everything and put it in your head. But what I'm saying, the basic things that make you think around the problems and be able to have different perspectives. That's what I'm talking about. So now, when you don't have that, then you don't have the ability to think. You don't have the ability to ideate, and you don't have ability to think critically, which is really important in this age. So I'll be sharing those tips, and I'll be sharing those insight of something, and how I see technology moving forward. Actually, so I would love very much for you to share this video to your friends, and I would love very much to for you to be able to subscribe to this channel. I want to grow this community to 1,000 at least for this year. And if you can help me achieve this mission to grow this community to a number of users, of community users, I think it will help a lot to shape the next product owners, product managers, team builders, and the stuff, software engineers, and stuff. So, but I think I will not be talking much about software engineering on this channel because I realized that I don't. I'm not. I'm a tech savvy. I'm a programmer, but I I don't think the audience is is available in Africa to listen for tech or programming podcast or something like that. So shifting a little bit of that. So, but maybe slightly occasionally will be sharing the inside of some of the open source project I've been contributing to. Because in my free time, I like to contribute to the open source and see software blooming, working in people using the software actually. So that's something I wanted to share. Maybe a little bit of updates of why you have not been seeing the the update on this channel, and what I have been up to. That's a separate conversation we have in the future. But now, that's what I wanted to share for now. Thank you. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe this video and share to your friends if you find it insightful, and you would like to share with your friends. Bye.